The key to misery is giving yourself time to think about whether you are happy or not. Recently, terms like ADHD and depression are becoming more common. People are posting things like hashtag depression or hashtag ADHD on social media almost as if it's a trend. But let's be honest, isn't it normal to feel a little depressed at some point in our lives? Sometimes we feel temporary feeling of sadness, but when we start labeling it as depression or ADHD, it can actually make the situation worse. Some experts say that fashion depression is used as a defense mechanism to protect our negative feelings. I'm not saying you should ignore the feelings of depression. If you are really experiencing depression, it's a medical condition, and you should get professional help. The real problem is this: a lot of people don't do anything when they feel depressed. They don't go see a doctor. In the middle of this, they put a fashion label on their feelings and make it a trend. And that's why so many people live with their depression without a proper treatment. If you really have a depression, go see a doctor. But if you're just feeling a bit down, like the sadness that everyone experiences in life, stay tuned because this video might help you. I'm going to share some ways to deal with temporary depression and sadness. If you try these methods consistently and still don't feel better, then it might be a time to see a doctor. The number one rule is never compare yourself with someone else. When you scroll through Instagram, it seems like everyone is having the time of their life. People traveling, eating delicious food, living their best life. And you think, why is my life so miserable? Do you think that if you had a car you wanted or could travel freely, and you'd be happy too? Nope, you wouldn't be, because you're comparing yourself to others. Let's face reality. You can't eat at Michelin star restaurants 365 days a year. If you are super rich, maybe you could. But if you are that rich, you probably wouldn't be watching my video right now. The point is, you can't live that luxurious lifestyle right now, and that's okay. Instagram and YouTube are full of perfect moments, beautiful people, expensive things, and happy faces. But when you compare yourself to that, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. There will always be people doing better than you, always. Starting with the mindset of comparison is a losing battle. After eating all the best food, traveling the world, or driving a fancy car, would you be happy forever? I don't think so. That excitement eventually wears off. Having a nice food at a fancy restaurant feels nice because you do this occasionally. If you do it every day, you'll start to take it all for granted. And then you'll compare yourself to someone even better off. It's a trap. Whether you are making $1,000 or $10,000 a month, it does not matter. You can always choose to feel happy or unhappy depending on your mindset. So what's the solution? If you are feeling depressed, first thing you need to do is stop focusing on trying to be happy. Happiness isn't determined by how much success, money, or fame you have. It's determined by how you deal with the pain and struggles of life. Try to avoid suffering. Do not strive for perfection in every area of life. Instead, you need to find a balance between avoiding suffering and accepting imperfection. Now, how do you avoid suffering? First, practice gratitude. Be thankful for what you already have, rather than focus on what you don't have. It's easy to compare yourself to people who make more money, but instead, try to appreciate the things you already have in your life. Second, focus on your health. A positive mood comes from being physically healthy. Even if everything else in your life is a mess, a healthy body can give you the energy to keep going. Without health, everything else is meaningless. Exercise, even 10 or 20 minutes a day. Build a habit and gradually increase it. Number 3, avoid bad ingredients and eat clean. When it comes to food, it's far more important to avoid bad food than to have good food. We are surrounded by tempting, unhealthy foods, but they drain your energy and make you feel worse in the long run. Junk food might taste good, but it's a quick energy drain for your body. And that's why you sometimes feel tired after eating junk food. When you eat food, do not focus on the taste. Focus on the nutrition. Avoid bad ingredients. Once you get used to it, you are going to love the taste of health. Number 4, earn money. I know that money doesn't buy happiness, but it can help you avoid a lot of suffering. You don't want to be so poor that you are constantly borrowing money to survive. You should be able to take care of yourself and your family and have enough to afford medical treatment when you need it. Studies show that higher income can increase happiness, but only up to a certain point. After a certain income level, the happiness boost diminishes. So don't focus on becoming insanely rich. Just focus on earning enough to avoid suffering and secure your well-being. Number 5, stay busy. There's a famous line from Dale Carnegie's book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, that says, "The key to misery is giving yourself time to think about whether you are happy or not." Imagine you're in a high-speed car race. You have to focus on every move and turn. If you let your mind wander even for a second, you could crash or lose the race. That's how life works. When you are constantly busy and focused, you don't have time to overthink and spiral into negativity. But when you sit at home all day, struggling through Instagram, drinking beer, doing nothing, what happens? When you stop and think, that's when the sadness comes in. Here's the thing. Humans tend to think negatively when they have free time. That's why staying busy helps. It doesn't give you space to dwell on negative thoughts. You might ask, but what if you are so busy you have no time for yourself? It's not about being busy to the point of burnout, but staying engaged with something meaningful. People don't quit jobs because they are busy. They quit because they feel their work is meaningless or the company does not offer any value to their lives. Number 6, focus only on what you can control. A lot of sadness comes from worrying about things we can't change. For example, what if my business fails? What if people don't like me? These worries are mostly pointless. There are only 2 options in life, what you can do and what you cannot do. So focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. I put this serenity prayer in my room so that I can always remind myself, and it goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that you will make all things right if I surrender to your will, that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with you forever in the next. Amen. I once had a really tough boss. He made my work life miserable. I worked 12 hours a day, and he even assigned me tasks when I'm on vacation. Deadline was always the same day. I did not know what to do because I was working for a nice company and was not sure whether I could find another job. The fact was, I couldn't change my boss. I complained about it for a year, but eventually I realized that I couldn't control the situation. What I could control was finding a new job, one that paid better and had better conditions. Luckily, I did. If you are facing something you can't change, like a bad boss, accept it. But there is always something you can do about it. Number 7, write it down. Give yourself some time to reflect on those negative thoughts. The rule is that you only think about them for 5 to 10 minutes a day. You can call it the time of negativity. During this time, you can be as negative as you want. List out why you're feeling this way and what you need to do to fix it. Focus only on what's in your control. Then go take action. If there is something you can't change, let it go. Remember, you are only allowed to think negatively for 5 to 10 minutes a day. It means for the rest of the day, you should be completely positive. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like for more contents like this.